Welcome to SomewhatNerdy Radio. We are your hosts. I am Snarfkris.
And I'm Critter.
Welcome to the show. Halloween season just passed. We're kind of still in a horror mood.
When am I not?
Yeah, that's kind of the norm of the general movies that me and you watch normally in the first place. Before we get all into all of that, go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the other social media you can find us on. Follow us there. Podcast apps, we're on them. Everyone.
Just find us.
Yeah, it's fine.
SomewhatNerdy
And you're
Radio.
listening to us already. Share it with your friends.
Yeah, whatever they may listen on. Because some people are very adamant about it. You know how you talk to a Spotify person and they're like, I listen to Pandora, and you're like, oh, you're an idiot. I mean, people are very adamant about the stuff that they like.
They are.
Oh my god.
I like that as app way better than this one. And I use the Apple app and Spotify, I think.
Oh yeah. Well.
And SoundCloud. Yeah, those are the three I use. And all three in those apps and all the other ones, you can leave us reviews on them. Make sure you do all that. Like, write something nice in the comments. Give us all the stars, thumbs up, hearts.
Whatever.
Leave us a review. So, what are we doing on this podcast, Critter?
Well, we're going to keep the scary type movie going.
But like more of a subgenre.
Well, alright, so I wanted to do a more of a deep dive into sci-fi horror action.
Okay.
The latest movie, Prey, came out a little while ago.
Yes, about 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
Took the world by storm for some strange reason.
Not a strange reason. I was super excited about it.
I was not excited about it, no.
Yeah, that's where you and me differ, my friend. Yeah. Like, anytime Predator is mentioned, I'm like, give me more Predator movies.
I think I wasn't turned off by it, but I was less enthused about it whenever Disney or Fox, whatever, announced it was just going to be a streaming thing. It's like one of the... I think this is still a carryover from original Fox.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, they're just going to put it on a streaming service because they just
it's going to be a throwaway movie.
Yeah, it's going to throw away a movie.
I gotcha.
Now, I watched it. Solid-ass movie.
Dude, this is so good.
Yeah.
I think it's a better movie than the rest of the Predator movies.
But it's not better than the original Predator.
Here's my thing. Nothing's going to beat the original Predator.
I agree.
Like, this may be a better movie, officially, but you're not going to beat Predator.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the ultimate dudes in the 80s. Everybody. The who's who of action.
Jesse the Body Ventura, Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously.
I like how you started with Jesse Ventura over Arnold Schwarzenegger, but okay.
I don't know why he's the first name that popped in my head. Carl Weathers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the original Predator movie is...
It's groundbreaking for one thing. The special effects, the computer effects and practical effects were absolutely
great.
Amazing.
It should have been Jean-Claude Van Damme as the bad guy.
Well, that suit looked terrible.
It did.
This one looks believable. Like, this still, you watch it today and you're like, that's an alien.
It's really good, yeah.
So, anyway, Prey, let's get back to Prey. So, Prey really opened up this thing of, like, people really liking Predator. And now Predator is getting more and more. They're like, hey, you watch this. I'm getting, like, you need to watch Predator, Predator 2, Predator 3. Not Predator. Predators, and then so on, so on, so on.
Yep.
And then they're like, you may also like Alien this. And I'm like, you know what? I started looking through the movies. I'm like, oh, yeah, Aliens, awesome. Alien 3, all right. And then you get an Alien Resurrection, like, all right, that was fun. And then, like, it starts going down these declines. And I'm like, honestly, man, I kind of think that Predator... This is a unpopular opinion episode.
Yep. It's okay to be wrong.
It's okay to be wrong, yes. And this is okay for me to be wrong or you to be wrong. But I would...
Why we think Predator series is the best sci-fi horror movie?
Sci-fi action horror.
Is that what we're putting ourselves out there for?
I'm putting it out there. I think collectively, if you put all the movies together, if you're not counting Alien vs. Predator because it's a merger, I think collectively, it's the strongest of all of them.
So, if you watch all the movies, there's 6 of them?
No.
5.
Yes.
Predator, Predator 2.
Predators.
The Predators.
The Predator.
And then Prey.
So 5.
So 5 movies. From beginning to end, there's a weak one in kind of in the middle, but
then this one's so strong at the end, so it kind of like offsets it. And even still, the weakest one is rewatchable.
Yeah, but it's an okay movie. But this movie really gets saved because Thomas Jane's in it.
Thomas Jane, Michael Key.
Yeah, those two guys in that movie save the entire movie because I don't really care for Olivia Munn.
They really do save the entire movie. And then actually the main character who was in Sandman recently. Yeah, he's actually a pretty good actor, and he plays kind of like, just kind of like a normal just action star or whatever, like normal main character, not that interesting guy, but overall not bad.
And then Predators had Adrian Brody, Lawrence Fishburne.
Yep, Topher Grace.
Oh yeah, Topher Grace was in that movie. Yeah.
Walter Goggins.
Who the hell's that?
The guy from Vice Principals, Justified.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay, like a little skirmy guy. Yeah.
Danny Trejo.
Oh yeah, Danny Trejo. They just had a great cast. The only thing about this cast is Adrian Brody plays a badass in this movie.
Yeah, he plays a Schwarzenegger character,
and you're like, I'm not intimidated by him at all. But the movie's solid. It's I've always I know that movie somewhat used to get hate, but I think everybody likes it now.
It's one of those movies. The problem is that it was so different.
Yeah.
Because they put him, instead of hunting them on Earth, they brought him to an alien planet and hunted them there. But whatever. Overall, I'm just trying to say that if you were to lay out all of the movies, they're all collectively better than the rest. Now let's go down the line. The next obvious choice in sci-fi thriller or sci-fi action horror would be Alien.
And I'll go out on a limb. Alien and Aliens is
absolutely
two of my
phenomenal.
Favorites. Be in my top probably 50 movies of all time.
Aliens would be in my top 15, 20.
20 possibly, yeah. I love those two movies. Those are on a constant rotation of movies that I watch all the time, especially Aliens. Aliens is just so great. Great cast, great story. The effects are awesome.
It's such a great expansion on the original Alien. You get the paranoid. You're trapped with an alien. You don't have any weapons to fight it. Now you have all the weapons in the world to fight them, and the experience,
and the military force. Yeah. And especially in the first one, where it's just one alien, it's very sci-fi horror before it turned into sci-fi action. And then we get Aliens 3.
You know what? As much as hate Alien 3 gets, not a bad story.
It's not a bad story. The dog alien looks like dog shit.
It looks like dog shit. Yeah,
the entire movie. It is also just a very depressing movie.
Yeah, but that's kind of why I like it. I mean,
that's not my problem. Was it?
It's the CG.
Yeah,
so
it's
bad.
The CG. Yeah, it's mostly the CG.
It's mostly the CG.
Yeah, and it kind of went backwards a little bit. With just like the one dog alien type thing. It's fine. I don't mind 3 in the first trilogy, and I always think about Aliens as a trilogy, and then I always forget there's a lot more Aliens movies.
Well, Resurrection was fun as hell, but it was goofier.
It's goofier. It also has Hellboy in it.
Yeah.
It's got quite a few. The cast is awesome, actually.
The cast is awesome.
But then you get the alien human thing towards the end of it, and
there's the rub. The rub, because you have this alien human hybrid, and now we get into Prometheus.
So we're gonna disagree, and it's okay for you to be wrong about this.
Sure.
Prometheus, I really like that movie.
Dog shit.
Yeah, I really like that movie. It's almost because you can't, because that's the whole basis of the movie. But if you took the alien shit out or didn't know it was the alien movie, I don't think it's that bad of a sci-fi movie.
But I'm not there for that.
Yeah, because it's advertised as a aliens movie.
Yeah,
I agree.
And Ridley Scott, hey, I'm taking it back. You're like, okay, interesting. Let's see where it goes with this.
But
that's him shit in the bed.
Do you think the movie's bad because it's an aliens movie, or do you think the movie's just bad?
I think it's bad because it's an alien movie.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I think it is.
But if you didn't know it was an aliens movie,
it'd be a good sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it'd be a good sci-fi movie.
But we're not talking about that.
It's a bad aliens movie.
It's a bad aliens
It's a terrible aliens movie.
I mean, it has some parts that you're like, okay. but then it's well acted.
I mean, didn't they all actually say in that movie the whole reason they hate us is because we killed Jesus? Like, one of them was Jesus at one time or another?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I probably blocked that shit out.
I'm pretty sure that's the whole premise of why the creators, was that what their names? The bald-headed white guys? Pale white guys? Blue, almost. They sent somebody to Earth many years ago, and we crucified him.
Well, I thought he sacrificed himself. I thought he was the creation of all life. I thought he was the spark. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's got this. It's got this stupid biblical thing to it. It's annoying, and then it's got like the H.R. Geiger fucking dicks everywhere. It's weird. I mean,
aliens kind of look like giant penises.
Yeah, I know that's what he did, but then they went all out with it. They're like, hey, let's expand on his insaneness. Just like do everything.
We also got the joke from Movie Sins, the Prometheus school of running away from things. Run in a straight line, never turn left or right, and that's when the ship's falling over, and she's supposed. And literally, if she ran 5 feet to the right or left, she would have been totally safe. But she continues to run in a straight line, and they use that line. I see that joke more places. The Prometheus school of running away from things. Run in a straight line. I honestly think there's redeeming qualities about that movie. And then you get to Alien Covenant,
which really expand. It is a direct sequel made by Ridley Scott, and it is maybe the worst movie I've ever seen. It's not ever, but
it's up there on unwatchable.
Yeah, it's something that I was like, man, I wasted money to come see this. I thought that.
Yeah, I was mad after I watched that, and I would have been more happy with Covenant if it would have, and you'll disagree, but if it would have followed more of the Prometheus stuff.
I feel like it did.
It did, but it also tried to be like, we're going to carry on Prometheus, but let's forget about Prometheus.
Okay, overall, bad. So that's the whole thing. You have 2 amazing movies, a third one that's like, and then a fourth one you're like, okay, that was fun. And then you get 5, you're like, and then you get 6 that's like, what the fuck is going on? All the while, you get one like mediocre movie from Predator. All right, so that's where my ranking of Predator is still number 1. Let's go to the next big one, Terminator. Groundbreaking.
So we've been not shy about talking about our love of Terminator 2. It's
and
one
Terminator
of my favorite
2,
movies.
Just
Terminator 2 specifically is one of my favorite movies of all fucking time. So it'd be in my top 10. And one day we've talked about this on the podcast before. We're eventually going to do that whole movie breakdown of our top whatever movies of all time, and it'll be no surprise because we talk about those movies constantly.
Sadly,
and so, but Terminator 2 is so good, and me and Critter are the same. We saw Terminator 2 way before we saw Terminator 1.
That's not true.
You saw Terminator 1?
My dad made me go see Terminator 1.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I didn't see Terminator 1 until after. And Terminator 1 is the same kind of thing as Alien and Aliens. Terminator 1 is kind of a sci-fi horror movie for sure. And then you got that action Terminator 2 movie. And it's so fucking good. And then the trailers for Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines?
Rise of the Machines, yeah.
Started coming out. I'm like, motherfucker.
I'm so excited.
Arnold's carrying a casket, shooting a gun. I was so excited.
Pumped.
And then I watched the movie.
Yeah, and then you get this like weak ass John Connor, man. You're just kind of like, man, could you not get Edward Furlong? What was going on? He wasn't doing anything.
I think he was on drugs at that time, but and he also looks exactly the same as he did because he never grew up really. He just got fatter, like we all do.
Yeah, he got that older. Stupid high pitched voice. You know how losers are.
But and then Terminator movies, just in my opinion, and Critter's gonna disagree. They kind of just go. I don't really like.
I think 3 was the lowest.
3 is the lowest.
Salvation is something.
The
Christian Bale
one. I don't particularly care. Yeah, I like Sam Worthington in the movie.
Well, I like both of those guys. They're great.
The problem was that fucking movie is in the trailer they gave away the fucking movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was okay.
I
liked it. It was, to me, it has some rewatchability. And then Genesis was fun.
Fine.
It was fun and fine. That was it. Like, it was like, oh, that was a nice homage. And then
What's the new one?
Dark Fate.
That's
Dark
the one
Fate
I
was
haven't
good.
seen. That's the one I haven't
Dark
seen.
Fate was really nice because it was a really nice kind of like, hey, this is how we're going to continue.
I think
doing
every time I
Terminators.
think about watching one of these Dark Fate or even Genesis or anything like that, I'm like going to go play it, and I go, why would I play this? I'm just going to go watch Terminator 2.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's what I do.
That answers your question. And let's move on to the next one then, because that one, as good as it is, it just drops off, and you get like 2 good ones, and then some meh, and then they're all the rest meh after that.
And then let's go with it is sci-fi horror just because of what it is, what the movies are. Resident Evil, the first one,
Amazing.
man, I like the first one.
I like it. No, amazing's not the right word. It's good.
Good.
And I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I've watched it a lot.
I watch it a lot.
It's a good zombie movie.
It's on a rotation of movies that I like to put on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first one has a lot of video game things that I like. I'm a fan of the original video game series, the first 3 at least.
Yep,
anyway.
and that's when I was still playing
Yeah.
video games, yes. And then you get Resident Evil 2,
which is
Annihilation, which was, you're like, all right.
It's okay.
Yeah, but it gets way more action-y. It gets
Yeah, it does.
way more over the top. And
How many Resident Evil movies are there?
I don't know.
I think it's 7.
It's gonna be a thing I'm gonna have to rewatch. I'm gonna have to rewatch them all.
An original Resident Evil too. I'm talking about like I know there's we are going to talk about it. But I'm talking about like original Lilu.
Mila
Resident Evil.
Jovovich?
Yeah. Oh, there's 6 of those. There's 7 of those. or
I don't know.
some
There's
shit.
a lot.
There's a lot now, right?
But they run together. That's what I'm saying.
I have no idea what
There's-
any of those movies
To
are.
me, it's Resident Evil 2 Annihilation,
What happens after
Resident Evil 3 like Extermination or Extinction.
Extinction. Yeah.
And then it's just Extinction 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all the same.
What happens in all those movies? I've seen them all, but I couldn't tell you. I know at one point there's like they're in a desert world and like the zombies have already overran the world. That's 3?
No,
Oh.
well, that's 4 and 5.
Five.
But then there's one where they're underground and there's like Nazi zombies.
What?
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
I know I've seen
That's
all of
that's
them.
one where Leon is now in the show, and you're like, what the fuck? And Chris Redfield doesn't make the episode, and he's the other guy.
In like this first one?
No,
He's not.
no.
So he's not until
It's
later.
it's the guy from Prison Break,
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
and he's like locked up in a cage, and it's like Resident Evil 5 or 9. I
When
don't
does
fucking
Nemesis
know.
show up? Second one, huh?
It's third.
Third one.
I mean, like he is in
he's
the
in
second,
the second one, but
he's
he
the
turns into Nemesis in the third one.
yeah,
All those movies are terrible.
yeah.
God, how can you mess up Resident Evil?
No, I'm thinking of the video game. It's Nemesis is the third game. He is in 2. Yeah.
He gets turned into Nemesis at the end of 2. Yeah, you're right.
No, he turns it. He's the guy. He's the guy that turns into Nemesis in 1, but they don't release him until 2.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
So anyway, then we have the new Resident Evil movie that came out. Was it a Netflix movie? Not the TV show.
No.
It wasn't.
Welcome to
Netflix
Raccoon City.
That's what it was. That is.
You're not gonna like what I say about that
I know
one.
you're not. I'm not because we disagree on that. It's not. It's a fucking terrible movie.
It's a terrible movie, but goddamn,
Somebody played the fuck out of some video games.
That guy, whoever did cinematography, whoever in charge of the mansion scene and how the police station looked.
Yeah.
He had some say in
Yeah.
some shit. He goes, y'all can fuck up this movie as much as you want, but I get these 2 things.
The mansion and the police station is going to be fucking perfect.
And just,
And it was. It looked so good. It's like one of those movies you watch and you're like, oh, this had so much potential. And now I haven't watched the TV show.
TV
which
show's
I've heard
good.
is good. Yeah.
TV shows.
Does it follow the video games?
Not at all.
So it's something totally separate.
Absolutely nothing to do.
So
with
it has nothing to do with Resident Evil at
Not-
all?
Nothing that I know of, besides it being an Umbrella Corporation.
So they didn't even have to call this Resident Evil. It just couldn't a zombie movie. And
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's probably the best way to do it now, since we all know the story of Resident Evil. Even if you're not a fan of the video games, you've seen the movies now. You probably should just start moving away because nobody can do it right, apparently.
Well, you know what? I take it back. It's more like Resident Evil 5.
What happens in Resident Evil 5?
That's the African when they're in Africa.
Oh, the video game. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not even like a zombie thing. Then isn't it like some kind of parasite or some shit?
Well, they call it like African rabies or something like that.
Yeah.
In the game, but
it's a really good game. So
well, in that kind of the show actually plays that the zombie outbreak actually happened, and then they end annihilated it, and they rebuilt a Raccoon City in South Africa.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it's, so that's kind of like the thing. That's the only thing I got from it. Anyway,
but it still stands. Not a solid sci-fi
no, because
horror
it's
movie.
incoherent. It's stupid. Everything runs together. You don't know what's happening.
Lilu is also a terrible actress. I like her. I like her in everything. She's just not good. What's her name?
Mila Jovovich.
You're wrong. Lilu. Anyway, what's the next movie we were talking about?
You know what? I'm going to throw up one that I have a personal connection to, and it is Critters.
These movies are arguably not good.
Oh, no. They're B movies, and they know it.
Yeah.
And they play it up.
But especially later.
The first three, especially the first two.
Yeah.
First two are so good.
Yeah,
so
I
fun,
agree.
so campy, so stupid. And honestly, like, the kid actor in that one, the little redhead kid, he's in Orville, by the way. And he's still really good in Orville. I'm
Orville's
like,
such a good show.
So. And like the whole time I watched Orville, I'm like, how is this? I'm like, where do I know this guy from? And then I'm like, oh, thank God he made it.
He's the pilot.
He's the pilot.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So Critters it's Critter. He's sitting next to me. These are a series of movies I watched a lot when I was younger.
Yep. So the first one is really awesome.
It's good.
Second one, it gets more ridiculous and it gets more gory, and then third you get Leo.
Yeah.
But it's also a pretty good one, and then it starts getting stupid.
Is the fourth one where they have the giant critter ball?
No, that's the second.
That's the second one. Okay. Those movies all run together for me. I've seen them all.
4 and 5, it's like they start getting weird, and like one of them is in space. I forget if it's that one or 5 that's in space.
There's a fifth one?
Yeah.
It's the fifth one. Is that the one that came out recently?
No. That was a TV show.
Is that good?
I never saw it.
Yeah.
Well, it came on
like Sci-Fi or something?
Sci-Fi, I think, or Shudder before I had Shudder, and I think they took it
Not
off
a sponsor.
already. Not a sponsor. I wish they were. But anyway, overall, you get 2 good movies. The third one was okay, and then the other 2 kind of run together. They're forgetful. So here we are. We got 2 good movies, and that's it.
Still not as good as Predator.
Next up, we got Tremors.
Yeah, Tremors is man, I just kind of like all these movies, especially the first one. The first one is
I like the first 2.
Fucking solid movie.
I like the first 2.
See, the problem after the first one with Tremors is I don't know any of the difference between them. What happens in the second movie?
The second one, they
fly, right?
No, they don't fly. They get legs.
Oh, so they got the 2 running like
they're smaller,
and then they break out of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. But after Kevin Bacon got out of the series, and didn't he come back for another one?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they canceled that movie. Yeah, that's what it was. So they were gonna film another movie with Kevin Bacon, and then they ended up canceling that movie. I thought they filmed that movie and just never released it. There's a TV show for this too, right?
I don't know. They made a lot. There's like 6 of them, 7 of them.
So yeah, there is 7 of them. I know the first one and the second one, and then there's a new ones with Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah, that's The Cold Day in Hell.
Yeah, I've seen those. He's in like 2 of those movies, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
See, this is once they start running together, you have to start thinking like,
is it good?
Yeah,
because it's not. Do I enjoy them?
Sure.
I like a lot of bad movies.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not saying these are movies that
sure.
they're fucking terrible, but they're not like we're trying to compare what's the best.
Yes.
And still a hot take, franchise-wise, Predator is still up top for me.
Yeah. There's nothing that we're talking about right now that would be better than Predator. And these are little sub ones, and most of these it doesn't really matter. Like Cube. You ever watched the Cube series?
I've watched the first one. The second one never actually, like, when I read about it, I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this one again.
Cube Zero. There's, I think, 3 of those movies. They're all pretty solid, but they're all the same movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a group of people stuck in a cube that rearrange a Rubik's Cube type thing that, kind of gets rearranged. If you haven't watched the Cube series, I highly recommend it.
First one, at least.
Yeah, first one, at least. And then we'll go ahead and the last one we'll go ahead and talk about is arguably the only thing I would say is just as good as Predators.
But it's
not, but it is, and there's not as many movies.
And not as popular.
Which is surprising, because I would think The Chronicles of Riddick, that's what we're going to talk about, Pitch Black, it's a solid franchise, man.
But if you think about it, it's just a trilogy with an animated extension.
There's also a video game tie-in, which was really good.
Yeah, but I mean, with Predator, you have that for decades.
Yeah, that's true. The Chronicles of Riddick, man, Pitch Black, when that came out, and this is
I really like that. But then Chronicles of Riddick came out, I like that even more.
And then Riddick came out, and
it was okay. Yeah, but
Batista's in that one, isn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, Batista's one of the mercenary guys.
I will say this about that trilogy. That may be the runner-up of, you know what? Okay, all the movies involved are okay. But you got 3 of them. But then you got this animated one that you're just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, the animated one I've seen, but I don't really care about it. But Chronicles of Riddick is especially, specifically, Pitch Black is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very solid sci-fi movie, very original.
Yeah, it was standalone by itself, and then you get Chronicles of Riddick, which is absolutely nothing to do with it almost at all.
Yeah, it's just got
but
Riddick
super
character,
cool.
Very cool. They're world building where they have this necro religion indoctrination machine thing, and Riddick is part of a super race that can. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Carl Urban's in it too.
Carl
so
Urban. Oh yeah, Carl. He's in the Riddick too. I'm pretty sure.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. See, the problem is Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick is the movie that I've seen probably 1,000 times. Riddick, I've probably only seen that movie a couple of times.
Yeah, but that happens with all kind of like movies when they become a franchise. You see the first one a bunch, the second one less, third one less.
Other than Terminator 2.
Well, true. And also even, I mean, like, no, that's not true with Predator, but Predator.
Predator 2, which we glossed over a lot of. Danny Glover. That's a fucking awesome movie.
Okay, so let's go back to why Predator is so good. You have Predator, which is amazing, with Arnold Schwarzenegger and everybody. Then you got Predator 2 with Danny Glover, and it's in the city, in the near future, or distant future when they made this movie.
80s.
Yeah, and it took place in the late 90s?
Yeah, it was in the late 90s?
I think it was like 1997 or something like that. Then you got Predators, which I probably have seen more than Predator 2. But the only reason...
Oh, no, I've seen Predator 2 a lot.
But the only reason I saw Predator 2 because it came out when I was a kid. So and I would watch something. But Predators, I have watched more as an adult than I have Predator 2.
Predator 2 is one of our Laserdisc movies that we had when I was a kid. So,
it's a movie I watched a lot when I was a kid, but Predators I watched more than I watched Predator 2.
And actually, watching Predators 2 now, I'm surprised my parents let me watch that as much as I watched that fucking movie.
Because of the boobs?
The boobs and the naked, hanging skin
yeah,
people.
Well, those are skin people in both of them.
Yeah,
in the first
yeah, I know in the first one. But there's boobs in the second one.
Yeah.
But, man, you're right. Predator is a overall solid sci-fi horror movies. And Prey is just carrying that along. And more importantly, Prey set something up that if they're smart, they will carry on.
They could do some great things with it. They can do new timelines, new everything.
So me and a friend of mine were talking about it. I want feudal Japan.
It's not just you and a friend. Everyone has said that on the internet.
I want a World War II one.
Ooh, World War One. Yeah, World War Trench.
World War II. They can literally caveman. They can do caveman. They can do anything now that they've set this up.
Yes.
So it's very smart if Disney, Fox, whatever realizes the franchise they can just build was just Predator errors. Like, just give me that. Do a future one. I don't care. Just do that. The story doesn't have to be super involved.
And you have noticed, people, that we left out Alien vs Predator because it's a mix of both genres or both movies. So it's not necessarily like a Predator movie or Alien movie. And honestly,
I like it.
I like them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the second one was not as good as the first one.
I forget that happens, but the Predarian is not my favorite thing in the whole entire world.
But see, that alone pisses me off about Prometheus again, but okay.
But Alien vs. Predator is, that's actually one of those other movies I watch a lot of. I just like that movie.
It's not good.
It's not good.
But it's fun.
It's fun. It's fun. Predators and Aliens are just cool to be together. So
And the mythos behind it was really cool.
It actually built into more of the Predator universe, and I hope they keep that canon. But what's canon with Predators? Who cares? More of it.
So where do you fall on this? Would you agree with us? Would you disagree with us? What's your favorite sci-fi action horror genre that you have dealt with? Or you've seen that we haven't mentioned. There's a bunch out there, but I feel like we covered the main ones, and some of the less main ones, but we just wanted to talk about a few.
We get it every once in a while. We get a sci-fi horror movie that's just a single kind of throw off, like Event Rising.
Or Pandorum.
Yeah,
one of my favorites.
Yeah,
both of those are
most of those movies are fucking solid. So,
but what happened if they did it too? You might be like, fuck it.
Yeah, it would be bad. I think a sequel to both those movies would be bad.
Yeah, I agree.
So a series is just totally out for that. Screamers.
Ooh, yeah. Honestly,
and a sequel to that would be.
They did do it.
Did they?
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh,
they did
that means it's terrible.
Yeah, because it definitely Screamers.
It didn't have RoboCop in it, did it?
It did not have RoboCop. Yeah, you're right. Screamers was definitely something that was should have been standalone, but they couldn't let it go.
Of course. That was a popular movie. Why would they make a sequel to that?
Well, it was a direct-to-DVD.
Yeah, of course it was. That is our reasoning behind Predators being the best sci-fi horror franchise out there.
Do you agree? Do you disagree? What
and
would
it doesn't
you pick?
matter if you disagree.
It's okay to be wrong.
Because it's okay to be wrong.
But let us know what you would pick above it, and the reason why. Because, obviously you heard our reasoning about Alien, which would be obviously your next selection. Good luck with that.
Or Terminator.
Or Terminator.
Fucking super good luck. How was that? What are you going to put out there? Sarah Connor Chronicles? Was that the name of the TV show? It was actually pretty good. I like this show. Go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go review us on all the podcast apps, whatever podcast app you are listening to us on right this very second. You can go ahead and turn the podcast off now. Hit that button, thumbs up, 5 stars, write us something nice out. We actually are still looking for new movies to watch for our double feature. So go ahead and send that in to us. We got Christmas season coming up, Thanksgiving.
I got a list going, don't worry.
Yeah, we got Christmas season coming up very soon. So we need movies for that. We need movies for a double feater. Kind of keep it cheery, maybe. I need some cheery.
Do whatever you want. Just
You
tell us. We'll fit it in where we can fit it.
There you go. We have been your hosts. I am Snarfkris.
I'm Critter.
And good journey, nerds.
Good journey, nerds.